must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much. Welcome to Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting all the way from the Republic of Kenya, from the political command center of Punchline Africa, miles away from the headquarters in Nairobi. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, Miriam. Good morning, back in the headquarters.
A very good morning to Doctor, and good morning to our panelists, and good morning to our viewers, wherever they're watching us this morning.
Thank you very much. From the conditions that I've had, the weather in Nairobi is 18 degrees Celsius and cloudy, and the chances of rain are 10%.
It's very
so
cold
we
here.
might receive rain in some of the places, I'm told. What do you think about that in Nairobi?
It actually has been drizzling in a couple of places this morning, even coming to work in the morning. This area, it was drizzling, so I think we expect a gloomy day today. But, it's a beautiful day still here.
Thank you very much. Across the bridge in Malindi, the Legacy Trend correspondent, Karen Joseph. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Dr. Matanga. Good morning, Miriam at the studio. Good morning, Wesonga. Good morning, Professor Jara. This is Karen Joseph from Malindi.
Thank you very much. After this, I'll come back to you before I hand over to Miriam for the weather. Prepare your weather details, the ocean, the current, the atmosphere, the way it is bubbling, how you are enjoying the sunshine. You look bubbly, though. Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning, Professor Gerard Onyari, in the CBD, our in-house champion professor who analyzes conflicts. We predicted a conflict in Mali. We said it, you and me, Miriam, and the Wesonga, Karen had not joined us before. I said it would not last long. He should have not conducted the election. You should have not. If you know anything to do with George Soros, talk to David Matsanga. I will tell you how he's coming, when he's coming. You see, Mudavadi is now preparing to analyze his accounts. After our expose, we have done a lot of service for this country. Thank you very much, Professor Gerard Onyari.
Good morning, Dr. Masanga, Miriam, Daniel, and the currents from Mombasa, and our viewers this morning.
Next is in the CBD, southwest or southeast of Nairobi, placed on a motor highway, double-barreled highway, is Daniel Sin Conley Wesonga Colombo, the investigative journalist for Punchline Africa Television. Good morning, Sin.
A very good morning, Dr. David Matsanga, Miriam Ogudu, Karen Joseph from Malindi, and Professor Jared Onyari, and of course our viewers in Kenya, Africa, and the rest of the globe. Good morning.
Thank you very much, viewers. I come back to Karen before I introduce the topic, hand over to Miriam to take it over until the end. Thank you very much. Karen, the weather in Mombasa, in the coast.
Yes, I'll take you through the weather here, and I'll be specific to Malindi on the 9th of August. And it's as follows. We've had rain from 11 a.m. and the temperature has been at 26 degrees Celsius. And then it will get cloudy at around 12, and the temperatures will be at 27 degrees Celsius. At around 1 p.m., we'll have a sun. It will be mostly sunny, and it will be at 28 degrees Celsius. From 2 p.m. to around 4 p.m., the temperatures will be constant at around 27 degrees Celsius, and 5 p.m. will be at 26 degrees Celsius. We'll have the sun setting here at Malindi at 6:24 p.m., and the temperatures will be at 26 degrees Celsius. From 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., it will be very cloudy, and the temperatures will be at 25 degrees Celsius. The humidity right now is at 83%. That's all we have from Malindi. Back to you, Dr. and Miriam.
Thank you very much, viewers, wherever you are in the world, in Africa, in Kenya. If you want to join us, look at our poster, look at our flyer, the number for Zoom to join us. Request, we shall open the door, knock it harder, to be open wider. Knock it small, it won't open. The numbers are on the Zoom. This morning, I'm determined to open up the space for Africa, because I always speak for Africa. This television stands for Kenya, Africa, and the rest of the world. Thank you very much. If you want to join us in the discussion, pick our Zoom number on the poster. And the Zoom number is, which you can contact us on. It's very easy to do so. Enter that number and call us. Then we can give you, the number is 399-535-8320. And then we can give you the password. And the password is also there. You can enter, and then we shall see you, whether you are not a robot. If you are a robot, we switch you off. If you are not a robot, wherever you are in Africa, join us. Thank you very much for this morning. The show is, my role is to introduce. And the role of interrogator is to interrogate and go ahead to interrogate us on the questions that she has laid before us. It's the people's court. We are now talking to the people and the people's court. That's why we have opened the show for you, people, viewers, to watch. Whatever you want to answer questions, chat with us. I can see my brother from Mozambique. Thank you very much. Talk to us. Go in the Zoom and talk to us. Thank you. The show is very clear. And the question is, are we politicizing the rule of law and order? Is it a norm in Kenya that everything that is done, even when you have stolen money from Thika, KCB Bank, it is politicized? I now hand over the powers to Miriam to begin the show by telling us the numbers and to look at the headlines. The headlines today are very similar. Ruto Uhuru, Ruto Raila, Ruto Raila, Ruto Raila. Someone is playing a narrative which is very parallel to each other, but it's just imagination of newspaper younger journalists. But before I hand to Miriam, I want to break to you the news. The leader of the military coup in Mali is 25 years old. General Kano Diwa Diao. Kano Diao. 25 years. Whew. It will end up in a tragedy. The generals will come if he has not killed all of them. It is like a Sergeant Do. You remember Sergeant Do of Liberia? He killed the president. He killed Tolbert, President Tolbert Taboman. Alimuua. This is a younger guy who has just taken over power, made the president resign, and said elections. Is Africa going back to this chaos? We saw this chaos. We shall look at that with Miriam at 3 p.m. East African Standard Time. Back to you, Miriam, just for now. And the punchline was broadcast. We knew all this was coming. You only need to know the intelligence movement of the French analysis, why they are not finishing the conflict quickly. Why? They need a facilitation. They need a backup. They need a base from Mali in order to strike back to Libya. They lost the base from Egypt. Don't you see that, you people? Miriam, there you are. If I start now, I can't finish. So back to you. That is the topic for you. Thank you, Sin Con Colombo, and Karen and Professor Onyari.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much there, Doctor, for that introduction. So let's just run quickly through the figures this morning, and then we look at the headlines. Then we just jump into our topic of the day, which I'm sure a lot of our viewers are looking forward to hear what we have to say today. And your comments are welcome. The show is People's Court. This is where your opinion matters. So let us know. Start engaging with us through, your comments there, and we shall be going through them as in the course of the show. So Kenya this morning, the confirmed cases stands at 30,636 cases. 487 of those have died. Recoveries is 17,368, and Uganda, the cases is 1,603. The death toll is 15, recoveries is 1,165, and South Africa 592,144 cases. The death toll today is at 12,264. Recoveries is 485,468, and the rest of the figures I shall read later on during diaspora dispatches. So let's just go to the total number of confirmed cases in Africa this morning, and we stand at 1,127,770. The number of deaths that have been recorded in the continent is 28,197, and recovery so far is 846,433. So those are the people who have recovered so far, and of course the global cases are way past 22 million, and the death toll is 784,397, and the global recoveries are past 15 million people so far. So that is that. Let's just jump into these headlines today. As Doctor has already mentioned there, they all seem to be having the same narrative, and it's quite interesting. And we start with the Daily Nation. Ruto, Raila criticized the state over arrest, and they quote there our Deputy President William Ruto saying abuse of police to bully citizens, threaten and intimidate leaders is wrong. It is not the reason millions woke up early to vote for us. And then Raila, they are saying the state needs to pull back and abandon action that take away the gains made on our path to democratization. Let's just start with a comment there. I know we'll look at that in when we go to our next topic. But when the way Ruto tweeted that tweet yesterday, he sounded like the official leader of the opposition, like he's not part of the government.
Miriam.
Yes.
I think let's combine it with the topic.
All right. There, let's go.
Bring it on.
Let's go.
Listen. This morning at 5 a.m. I wrote, Uganda pick 500,000 from a mafia boss. And then you go to the village, you also pick from a farmer who wants his crops to be sold. Who wants his crop to be sold? 400,000. The point of rendezvous, those in the military should know what a rendezvous is. And all of you know what a rendezvous, meeting point, agreed, arrives. That we shall meet at Sankara to discuss the matter. Is one man who has picked. Amongst us, we have picked money. You pick money from a mafia boss, that I will help you to sell your bicycles. And then you go to the farmer, you tell him, I will help you to stop bicycles from being sold. The point of rendezvous arrives. Or what you do, you call all villagers, your friends from the village, to come with drums. And the drum to say I am in trouble. But the main thing in the middle is the mafia wants the money. The farmer can wait, but the mafia might not wait. That's why they are called mafia or darker forces. The darker force, I told you there is a deeper state and also a darker force beyond the deeper state in political science. And the darker forces need their money. Miriam, angalia mimi, wanataka pesa zao. Kama umechukua pesa kununua gari, nunua gari. Alafu lete kifunguo na kadi, waweke kadi. If you buy the card and disappear with the keys, have the logbook and the keys, they will come for you. I've given that parable. We have a chaplain on this show. I'll leave the work for the chaplain to explain. The drama here was caused by Nikolai Machiavelli, who stood somewhere, sponsored this group to do what they wanted to do. Does it sound to you that the senators were being met by governors from Northeastern in a well-known hotel with CCTV pictures? Does it? Wherever you are in Kenya, mark this, the rule of law and order in the world. If police come to you, and let's not beat about the bush, Deputy President, you are telling a lie, a big lie. You are in government, you should know these people who are arresting people if you think they are arresting them wrongly. On several occasions, the Deputy President has whipped his tribe and tribesmen when they catch people to say they are people, they are targeting us. On the question of Error and the Kimeroro Dam, this happened. Sindio munataka ni toboe? Do I toboa or not?
Toboa.
This happened. Sudi woke up and said our people. Murukome woke up and said our people. Another one called Katero saying our people of 11 members of Zambian team who had stolen the money from KPLC. We have been whipping politics. We have been using politics to whip the law and order. When you are arrested for a motor vehicle crime, you have been driving without a license. Don't blame the politician where you were arrested. Produce your license. Unless the crime is negotiable. Because recently, the DPP brought out cases of the crimes that can be brought to court, isn't it? Some of the crimes, like the crime committed of supplying, masks, what else, sanitizers, those can be negotiated and you pay a fine. But the crime of inciting Maasai to kill Kalenjins or Kikuyu is a big crime. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no.
You must allow the people to investigate it. The police have to caution you. You have to write a statement. and come out. Whether the DPP drops the case or not, that is an investigation. First, you must have an OB or currency book. Then the case can be dropped. The DPP has powers to find out which case to be dropped. But the case of inciting one tribe against the other is not a simple case, because it is going to come. That is why I'm telling you, people have politicized. Does it occur to you, who's listening to our program today, that immediately these senators were arrested, the crowds in their backyard started burning shops, burning tires? Was this a pre-arranged? Was it a pre-arranged? Was it arranged that let's spark a strike, let's spark a demonstration? How did these people all of a sudden come in Samburu, crowd in big numbers, in Kagamega, big numbers, in Bomet, big numbers? Was this not planned? Let's not look at one side only. Let's look at the person who's paying people to plan demonstrations. It's a rehearsal for a regime change. Believe me or not, one day you will say this Ugandan was right. This is just a rehearsal for a state of despondence. Because at the moment now, for us in the world, in the Commonwealth, police is the law. When you hear the word in the Commonwealth, police is the law. So when the police comes to your door, whether you're a governor, whether, as long as they have identified themselves and they said they are from the CID headquarters, they want to talk to you. Talk to them. Abide. But if you want to bring cameras, video men, how did the Senator Malala know that they were coming to arrest him? How? Have you also asked how? And then he collected the people in his house. It means there was a crime. Miriam, are you getting there with me? It means he had committed something which was aware. Any criminologist, anybody like me who has studied criminology and intelligence, that's the first point of call. I will not shout like a Ruto. I will just make the first point of call. Why did Malala bring so many people? He told you he had so many people in his house in preparation with the cameras and the videos. It means he had committed a crime. He was aware. Just as the hyena could be aware that there is some meat I have left somewhere, and that this meat was meat for a lion, and the lion could find me. So the hyena could collect it. Other hyenas understand this side in preparation for the lion to come. I don't know whether I'm making any sense here, Miriam. I need to be encouraged so that I can. Yes, so that I can talk. If you are not encouraging me, then I keep quiet. The hyena was worried that he had touched some meat somewhere. But he had killed several animals. But then he touched the meat for the lion. So he went to one point of meat and stood there, called the other hyenas to come and help. Because there was a crime. There was a motive. If there was no motive, why should we have social media when the police has come to you quietly? The police did not publicize in the social media. The police came during daytime. The police came at night and they said, this is the only time you have come. We are from the CID. You can tell anybody, but we want to go with you to question you tomorrow in Bomet. There is no problem there. You might have done something. You say, okay, are you the real police? Yes. Let me make a call to my speaker or to my Sungoi man and ask him whether I should go with you or not. Once you establish they are the real people and they have given you time, go with them. It's the rule of law. It's the rule of law. There is no law lower than that. You cannot say, I am the Senate. You treat me nicely. Or I will wait until other senators come and make a drama in the compound. Because they also, all of those who went there, knew what they had eaten, shared. Hey. Tuambiane ukweli. This is all sharing. If you eat too much, you vomit. The mafia will not keep quiet. You will want his money. You can't promise me you will be there at my burial. Then the body arrives and everybody doesn't come. They wait for you. You don't bury me. That's the theory of the mafia. He buries you first. Thank you very much, Miriam. That's the way I see it. So the deputy president looks like he is in opposition. He is in government. Is Dr. William Ruto in government anymore? Or is not in government? I leave the answers everybody will answer. Mine, I think he is misguided, populist. They had already arranged this. They knew this. They knew this would happen. The motion, you can give the money, it's Kenyan money. Give them. Give them the money. I don't know why Kenyans are making very unnecessary talk. Just increase the amount of equalization fund and give the money. That's all. Then wait for a question, a referendum, go back to parliament, change the law, and tell people that we shall only give the money as per population. Isn't it? That's it. And then the population, the people, the areas of landmass that need more money, we shall equalize with the equalization fund, which has risen to 400 billion. That's it. Why is the hurry? Why is Dr. Raila Amolo Odinga making a fuss out of this? Because Malala has said, I will not sell you in the Western. No, Mr. Prime Minister, no. Don't. Uhuru cannot send people. Uhuru is the last man who can send police at your doorstep. If Uhuru was a bad man, he would have sent troops to catch so many people. Would have sent this, including those who killed Kenel. Those who killed Kenel. Those who killed Kenel. Those who killed Kenel. The younger man from Baringo is dead of a fictitious deal. Tena mnatuambia stupidity. People are crying with bitterness. Cold blood. That policeman was killed in cold blood. You kill people in cold blood. That younger man there, did he deserve to die? Did he deserve to die? You think he has no parents? Who today is giving the money to their wife? Who today is giving the money to the wife, to the children? Doesn't it pain you Kenyans? If Uhuru was bad and to save CID, he would have sent CID to arrest those people. Because he's the head of, he has intelligence. He knows who perpetrated. Wacha tuambiane. Aterere. Don't come out to mouth.
Right.
Don't come out to my mouth. Don't mouth people. That young man is dying, is lying in there, is gone. His family is done. His wife is done. You look at that. Don't you cry tears? And some mafia people just killed him. And they're still here threatening people. When you talk, they threaten you. Nyenye. As you plan, leave half tears. Thank you, Miriam. Yangu mmemaliza. I'm now done. Let me just wipe my tears.
All right. Dr.
Very bad.
Very well. So we are looking at the headline on the Daily Nation this morning in line with the topic that we're having. Has politicization of the rule of law and order become a norm in Kenya's governance? And before we delve too much into that, there's a quote there by our Deputy President, Dr. William Ruto. He said, abuse of police to bully citizens, threaten and intimidate leaders is wrong. It is not the reason millions woke up early to vote for us. Professor, the same question I asked a doctor there earlier. Our Deputy President there, he seems, this is a tweet or a response you would expect from a leader of opposition in a country.
Miriam, when you hear such a kind of words coming from the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, the second in command, castigating his officers who are under him, then you have got everything to worry. And my word, every other day I wonder, what is he doing in government? There are some Kenyans who are ready to go and occupy that office and serve Kenyans. Work with the opposition, do the work of the opposition, and check the government. He can speak to his boss and find out what has happened. He can speak to the Cabinet Secretary Interior. He can speak to the Inspector General of Police. He can speak to the Director of Criminal Investigation. Surely, we are walking towards a banana republic where there's no rule of law. There's no chain of command. And in fact, this one, Miriam, reminds me that some time back when I was a footballer, when we were playing football, the referee, when we were having a game, the referee was against us. He was biased toward our side. Our opponents were playing a very rough game. The fans, the supporters from outside were horrible. So we had to converge ourselves, those ones from the other side, and see how do we finish 90 minutes. Then we agreed we have to change our tactics and our strategy. We just, the game that we have to change the pattern. And indeed we changed the pattern. The referee found that he cannot be biased us because we were having a good game. The supporters saying, "Yanyewa watu wanacheza the ball mzuri," and that's this. It is my advice to the president that he has to change the strategy. The ground has become hostile. Even people who are with him, they are playing a rough game. Unless he changes the style and wait this year. If by the end of next year, same time like this, President Uhuru Kenyatta will be a lame duck. Nobody will listen to him. because even his own deputy president is disobeying him. So his legacy is at jeopardy. If I were him, is to call him and as a peacemaker, I will ask him, gentlemen, as things are, we can't work together. You have got ambitions of 2022. I think I can release you much in advance so that you start preparing for that, because me, I'm determined to leave a legacy. That's what will take us forward. But when the world looks, the old deputy president condemning the tune of SARS under him, terrible, Miriam. These are the dark days. It has never happened in history. It will never happen, but we are seeing it happening. Very unfortunate.
Quite interesting. We've not had such a government where the deputy president outrightly, is not speaking in one accord with the head of state. I think, as Professor there, you've rightly put it, it is the first time that we are witnessing this kind of dynamic here in the country, and it has been one challenging one, for President himself, and also now for Deputy Karen. When you hear, before we get to what Raila said, and the headlines today are in line with the
Raila is perfect. Raila is perfect. He's in the opposition. He can say anything.
It's in the opposition, and we will look at that because also the way the newspapers are portraying these conversations or these tweets. You would think Raila and Ruto sat somewhere having coffee and called a press conference, but we shall look at that. But first of all, looking at what our deputy president said there yesterday, Karen, it will be easy to assume, if you just read this quote here on the front pages of the Daily Nation, and it was not told to you that this is the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, you'd think this perhaps is the opposition leader or something like that. Karen.
Yes, you're very correct, Miriam. But based on the police state thing and what happened a few days ago, I also said yesterday that the government cannot come after you if you're exercising your democratic rights. And that tells us that if the police were after these senators, could be there was something that was not right. It's not like they just wake up one morning and come after you. So whatever has happened, there is more to it. But like we said before, we're waiting for further directions from the Director of Public Prosecutions. Now that is on police state. I know so much has happened, but then they cannot come after you if you're doing everything the right way. What you need to do is go with them, answer what you need to, and seek bail if you have to, and that is it.
Or maybe it's the time that the police came, the wee hours of the morning, that perhaps got these, leaders worried, because you might not know in the middle of the night, the dark, you might not know who is this person, if it's the police or, But I think at the end of the day, we saw even Langat, the senator, then knew that this was the police, but he was not willing to go with the police. Maybe because of the timing. That time it was a bit too early, or for whatever reasons. But Daniel. This tweet by our deputy president, abuse of police to bully citizens, threaten and intimidate leaders is wrong. It is not the reason millions woke up early to vote for us. What message is a deputy president sending to President Uhuru Kenyatta, and why does it sound like he's the leader of opposition in Kenya?
Yes, thank you, Miriam. And I'll take the same path as Professor Jared Onyari. I think it is the height of belligerence and arrogance that the DP is manifesting to Kenyans, and perhaps it shows the level of alienation that has happened in the presidency, and the deputy presidency no longer has a grip of what he used to have, the mandate and the power that comes with it. And Miriam, you say that this has never happened in history. It has happened. When Jaramogi in 1969, when the people around Kenyatta perceived him to be more outgoing, more than the president, and being more ambitious than President Jomo Kenyatta, they found a way of separating him, of frustrating his office, in that he had no task as a deputy president, as a vice president. And what Jaramogi did when he found that he did not have the capacity, he did not have that ample and conducive environment to perform his tasks as the vice president, he did the most honorable thing. He tendered his resignation. And that is what we expect of William Ruto. William Ruto has been robbed deputy president for quite some time. He has been opposing his boss on key agendas. His key lieutenants in Rift Valley and Central Kenya has been going around in public gatherings insulting the president, while the president has kept his calm and been working towards the Big Four agenda. So it is high time William Ruto resigned from the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta, so that we get a person who is much willing, who is aligned to the agenda of the president to take over the mantle. Another thing, Miriam, these senators, it is true they had committed crimes, and that is why they knew that the police were after them. And they always say the guilty are always afraid. And that's why Dr. Matsanga said, before the police came, these people had already organized everything. They had called people into their houses. And even I believe that perhaps even in the home ground, they had organized people that are in a scenario that they are arrested, then they will cause chaos. And that was the ultimate political end of what they wanted to do. And let me tell you for a fact, William, in any state, in any developed democracy, police do not have a particular time where they can arrest someone. So long as you've committed a crime and it has been ascertained that you are in contravention of the law, they can come for you at any particular time, no matter what social status you hold, so long as they introduce themselves. And these police officers who went to arrest Senator Cleophas Malala, for the record, they introduced themselves and they even offered him to send someone down to go and confirm their identity. And once the police officers do so, then you have, as a law-abiding citizen, as a lawmaker, you have to abide by them and go record statements peacefully without causing drama. I remember a scenario in the 1990s when the likes of James Orengo, Githobi Manyara, and Raila Odinga were fighting for multi-party democracy. Orengo was taking his kids to school in St. Mary's School, and while at the gate waiting for the gate to be opened, police officers showed up behind him in a car, and they told him, "We want to arrest you." What Orengo told them, "Let me just drop the kids inside the school, and then we can go peacefully record the statement." And they allowed him. They got into the car, dropped the kids, went back to Gigiri police station, wrote a state, booked him in for the crime that they were accusing him, and later on in the day, he was released. So that is what happens when you follow the law. So I think this was a well choreographed chaos that had an ultimate political end, and it seems it was achieved through whatever happened. And now you can see the paymasters of the chaos coming out to take credit in it. Of course, as Professor said, Raila Odinga was an opposition leader, and he has a very, very clear record in fighting for freedom of speech and movement and all the human rights. But William Ruto has no audacity. He has the moral compass to talk to us about because even just recently in Kibera, he was the one who deployed a very heavy contingent of police officers in Kibera when he was campaigning for McNaughton. And that was a misuse of police, bringing a very heavily armed police officers against unarmed citizens. So he cannot really tell us about what we can do or what we cannot do about the police officers. That is my point, Miriam.
All right.
Now, Miriam.
Yes.
Miriam. Okay.
Yes. Come in, Karen.
Okay. Miriam, what Dr. Matsanga talked of earlier is very correct. When you know something's about to happen and you're so prepared, why are you so ready for it? And Wesonga talked of the same thing here. So if no one is chasing you, why would you just run? Why are you so getting prepared for? It's like there's a battle coming. Mm-hmm. So let the police and the detectives do their work. Let them investigate and all of that. But all I know is they cannot come after you if let me use the word clean. Thank you, Mary.
All right, Vero. And as you speak right now, CS Matiang'i is supposed to be appearing on Senate before today so that he's able to explain that, remember, Senate had summoned him to appear on Monday in the afternoon, but he was unable to. And that session will not be covered by the media, so that is happening as we speak. Go ahead, Doctor. You're saying something.
Yes, I wanted the professor to be here so that I can say.
All right.
This is the following statement. Mm-hmm. Senator Christopher Langat of Bomet. Senator, sorry, Christopher Langat, his arrest is as follows. He was holding an oathing ceremony at his residence in contravention to COVID-19 public safety directives. When called by the police to make a statement, he called his supporters who caused the fracas over the matter. He is also suspected of being involved in Narok, Nakuru, Bomet clashes. Sorry, I took saliva.
Get some water.
No, I've got it. Bring the water.
Okay, all right. You could put some honey in there. It can help. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It went in the wrong.
Pole.
Yeah.
Pole. All right. Go ahead.
Have you all of you got the seriousness of that? That is the senator of Bomet. Senator Cleopas Malala. The senator has 5 criminal cases. 5. And I should not tell a lie to the people of Kenya. 5 criminal cases dating back as far as 2017, and is currently out on bond. He is under investigations over the Matungu killings. Unasema hii siasa. Kweli hii siasa. You remember the Matungu killings? You remember the people who were killed in Matungu? He led a demonstration over the demolition of kiosks near a public hospital and was warned by the police over the same. He was recently summoned by the police quietly to record a statement over the meeting of a group of women in his county under COVID conditions. On hearing this, he turned off his phone. Police called him. The dates are here. As an investigative journalist, go deeper. Sasa tumepata here. This is evidence, is here. Malala asiambia ako mzuri, he's in chaos. Now, when the police in Nairobi called him to tell him, please, sir, when you have time, because nobody is defending the police, we are defending the police. Yes, let them go and hang. We are defending the police. And this is the same statement the Minister of Interior is going to read to that committee. Panda, mtatisha watu. Huyu mjamaa ako na kesi ya Matungu. Msitishatishe Uhuru. Watu walikufa Matungu. Polisi iliita Malala kukuja. Malala alikataa. He switched off his phone. The police used tracking equipment to find out where Malala was. And on hearing this, he turned off his phone and it became mere only to resurface on Monday when he was called by the police saying he was ready to record the statement. However, he did not honor his promise to record the statement on the same. So it made the police to look for him. He had switched off the phone.
So he was supposed Doctor, he was supposed to record a statement on Monday, the past Monday or the previous Monday?
On Friday. They started recording him on
Friday, but his phone was off.
It doesn't matter. He's on bond. Malala is not telling people he's on bond. He's on police bond. for killing people in Matungu.
Allegedly.
I don't care. It is here in the police. Am I the police? I'm not Kenyan police.
They're investigating the matter.
They are available. Don't blame the DCI. Don't blame what Ruto should read this. Let's come to the other Senate, the cantankerous one from Samburu. Senator Lelengwe is wanted by the police over sponsoring cattle rustling. It's not today, it's not last Friday. They have been in, listen, hey, they have been negotiating with him. Don't blame police. Police. You are blaming the Kenya police for what? They have been calling him sir, senator, sir come. And I listen to the story. Hey, police for cattle rustling in Samburu County. Police are in possession of a statement from elected leaders from Samburu County accusing him of financing cattle rustling, including buying guns. I have been telling people are buying guns in preparation for 2022. Buying guns for use by the rustlers. When he said that he would record the statement in Nairobi, you see, the police in Samburu said, you better come and record the statement because these are serious allegations. Don't just blame the police, Jamel. Let's also, these policemen have nobody to defend them. Let's not just leech them. They are on duty. Imagine they leave such a man to buy guns and heap the guns in Samburu. These guns will return to kill Kenyans. The police have a right to come and search to prove whether those accusations are right or wrong. It's not politics. These crimes have been committed a long time ago. And these three senators have been promising the police the usual way of using Kenyan position. Utafanyaji, utafanya nini? Mimi niko senator. Wewe policeman. You see the way Malala speaks to the police. It's not the manner of a drama school in Museum Kenya, where he wrote the shackles of Butere girls. Malala should know he's now a senator. And he's a law-abiding example for the younger generation. Not a simple street beggar of MCA. He's now a senator. An example of our younger children we are producing day and night, laboring to produce at night heavy. Growing, looking at Malala. Your son, your child, your daughter is looking at Malala. But if he looks at Malala, who is Malala? Anakuwa na Malala mingi. Malala in our country, Malala means you are bragand, uko na Malala. In my language, which is Malala's language, it means he's so proud, bragand, Kamalala. And guess what this guy of the cattle rustling the story, he said he will record the statement in Nairobi. Police allowed him the courtesy of doing so, given the stature of a man who is a senator, to go and record the statement in Nairobi. 4 weeks ago, was there a bill? 4 weeks ago, was there money in the Senate? Yes. Were they looking for him? Yes. He told them he'll record the statement. He refused. Which is against the norm where one records a statement at the place of offense. The police officer in Samburu said you can record that statement, although you are supposed to record where the offense has occurred. He said, no, I'm not coming to Samburu now because we have a busy schedule here. I'll record the statement in Nairobi. Senator Stephen Lelegwe of Samburu refused. Therefore, the police just came to Nairobi to get the statement from him. They did not come to arrest him. Mark that. The police did not come to arrest the Senate. They wanted to get a statement from them, from him. However, the same senator, the Lengwe, at exactly 11:25, they drove all the way after waiting for the statement to be recorded. You know the distance between Samburu and Nairobi. My fellow panelists, the police drove at 11:25. They arrived in Nairobi. They tried to trace Mr. Delengwe. He switched off his phone. They used the police Safaricom tracing unit. They found where he was when he had turned off his phone, and he refused. When they knocked his door, the man switched on his phone now and started calling all the senators. That's the true story. Now, let me come to this elephant in the house. The deputy president is condemning the police to sway the pretentious behavior of his and seeking to sway the public opinion. He is the boss of the police, hence is well aware of police actions, which is the chaplain said. 2, in the case of any queries, the deputy president should have called the inspector general of police or the CS interior to discuss the issue pertaining to the arrest rather than going out to the media. But it appears that he is not and only ran straight to the media, complaining like any other citizens of Kenya. I have never been in a government of this nature. I think I worked for Obote, but we never behaved this way. The DP is guarded by very many police officers, yet he, while enjoying state protection, unilaterally condemns the same police over matters for which he lacks facts. C, rather than subvert the government systems and efforts from within, the honorable thing would be for him to resign and open the joint opposition. That's a statement. Conclusion. The senators broke the law, and the law was catching up with them. They are not above the law and should face charges like any other Kenyan. Other elected leaders have been summoned in the past and obeyed the summons without causing the same kind of drama. Why can they behave like responsible law-abiding citizens? Politicians should stop politicizing matters of law enforcement. This is undermining the security of this country called Kenya. It can be your country, it's not my country. You can intimidate me, you can insult me, I will go away. But I'll remain one patriot, an African. No one is above the law in Kenya. Not in Uganda, not in Britain, not in America. Miriam, have I delivered a sermon?
right, very well. Well, the rule of law is pegged on the principle that nobody is above the law, and indeed all people are equal under the law, except for now President Uhuru Kenyatta is the person that enjoys a bit of immunity when it comes to the law because of his stature as the head of state. A lot of things and points there that Doctor has raised, Professor. Which one has stood out for you? But also, even in the same token, yesterday, Malala was released in the morning with the Director of Public Prosecutions saying there was no case for him to answer. And then all the dossier that Doctor has brought us here, I mean, the law, the people who are supposed to be prosecuting some of these things, the DPP coming out and telling us he has no case to answer, and yet these are the charges that Malala has been, being investigated upon. So which is which? What stood out for you on what Doc has said?
Thank you, Miriam. First of all, we have to understand the role or the work of the police officers. They are the ones charged under the laws of Kenya and the Constitution to maintain law and order. If there is any allegation upon you, any citizen, their work is to investigate. And to investigate, it means they will come and invite you to hear your side of the story and compare with what they have. If they find that you don't have a case, they will review, they will tell you to go. If they find you have a case, they will prepare charge sheet, the statement, they forward it to the DDBB, who will take you to court and you are charged. Miriam, where did the police go wrong? If they have been looking for these people, and you want to tell me on that same Monday and Sunday night, how many Kenyans were arrested? Did they resist? These are the people who registered senators, and you disobey. What are you telling the young people? What are you telling the world? The question which I want even to ask, Miriam, this question I want you to get it from me, to someone to answer me. Where did the police go wrong? How will a Speaker of the National Assembly who understands the law, you go and tell the cabinet secretary and the Inspector General, come here in a 1 hour time? Were they waiting for you? Don't they have work to do? Don't we respect the public officers who have given them work? Don't we have separation of powers between the judiciary, legislature, and the executive? Where are the people extending their mandate to frustrate the president, who has got the mandate of Kenyans? You know, these hard arms of the arms of government, it has been delegated. But the president has got suffrage. Kenyans have elected him. If anything goes wrong, Miriam, see the kind of offenses. You go to the Kenyans, you start giving them the sanitizers, those people, and you are not well, you are endangering themselves. You rather not even give them. You give them those sanitizers and then they get the virus. Miriam, do you know the kind of conflict that we discussed here? What is happening in Rift Valley, in Mau Forest, between the Maasai, the Kikuyus, and the Kipsigis? You go and take an oath. You want the police just to assume like that, and then you will start blaming the government. The other one, you know what happened in Kabedo? How many women and the children and the people have lost their properties and their lives? I think, you know, Miriam, I'm a senior chaplain with the police and the system together, and a Whitwill ambassador for International Police Network. It is high time we speak in support of our police when they are being intimidated. And even another arm of the government, like the senators, you don't just call a public officer to your office and within 1 hour you just come. No, they overstepped their mandate. And the sooner we remove politics, facts are coming out. That is what's going to be presented before the Senate. The facts, the fact that they have not been taken to court. Crime does not rot. You can be charged after 10 years, so long as you have committed a crime. However, I pray there should be separation of power and divorce the 2022 politics of succession, and support the president towards his legacy. Look here, Miriam, now. We have been singing here every now and again, saying, can these senators sit down and talk? I have not listened to any of the senators from both sides. How do we serve those who have been marginalized? How do we serve those who are many? Yes, those who are marginalized, they need money. Those who are in large numbers, they need money. As then, but ask the government, go back to the secretary and tell them, look here, fine, we are going to go by the formula. How are we going to cushion these people? As any member of the Senate come forward on that, they should divorce the politics of 2022. And the master of that, we have said this, to aspire is not to become. The deputy president is aspiring to become the president of this country. The prime minister has aspired several times. He has not become one. Alonso was a vice president. He tried once. He saw where he was. Musalia Mudavadi was a vice president for 3 months. He has tried for the president of this country. Has he become one? So don't come enda pole bwana, esimu the 3 arms of the government na utafika. Ukienda na hizo mbio hautafika. Esimu mkubwa wako. Respect the president. Support your boss. You will go far.
Very well, Professor. Of course, bottom line, these are politics of 2022, which is at play here. I don't know if the revenue allocation, formula now being debated that has caused a lot of division, even in the Senate itself. I don't know if it is setting a stage for the 2022, elections. And from this, are we likely to see, some formations taking place in line with our political affiliations in this country? You never know, because you remember during the Constitution in 2010, it became something else, and now we have a party called ODM from that. So we don't know where this will take us. But bottom line, Professor, as you said there, a lot of 2022 politics under play here. Daniel, from what the information that Doctor gave us there earlier on all these senators and perhaps some of these charges that police has been pursuing on them that Kenyans might not have been knowing what has been happening there. What do you make of that?
Yes, thank you, Miriam. I think Dr. Matsanga has really been able to put a silver lining on whatever we have been discussing and gave it a gist. But also, I would like to add more. It's in the public domain, in the public record, that Cleophas Malala, the Senator of Kakamega, owes William Ruto over 5 million. This amount of money he received when he was constructing his house in Kakamega through the former CS for Sport, Rashid Mohammed. And Rashid Mohammed has come in public claiming so. And also, he claimed that William President funded his senatorial bid in 2017. So perhaps whatever he's doing, he's just paying back whatever money that he has been receiving from the deputy president. And of course, there's no one who can confirm that their dalliance evaporated soon after he was elected senator. And that is why it is a strong feeling among so many people that these are very politicized scenario. Even them opposing the revenue allocation formula. It has politics behind it, and Professor Jared Onyari has talked about 2022. Clearly, this 2022 combat, and the deputy president is just being cheeky, trying to shoot down every noble government agenda. This revenue allocation formula is the best formula that the CRA could come up with, and it's a formula that was well done through consultation between the national and the county government. And the financial experts had to sit down. They had to do all the they had to do so that they give Kenyans a good revenue allocation formula. But the politics of the day has rejected. So I believe politics is at the center of it, and no one should be blaming the police for enforcing their law. They should be the one who should refrain from dragging police officers into their own politics of the day. And one thing, maybe I'll tell the deputy president is that, when you are going to hunt Miriam, you don't expose your arrows and bows. Let him first of all support the president in his agenda. The deputy president is obsessed about the 2022, that he nowadays even don't care about the big four agenda, the president's legacy.
It is supposed to be their agenda. It has been made to look like it's only President Uhuru Kenyatta's agenda. President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy were together. You remember when they launched the big four agenda. So he should be on the forefront actually supporting this, but it has been left to look like it's only President Uhuru Kenyatta's, legacy, because our DP has been busy, I think, with politics. So it looks like that is Uhuru's, business. He should be part of that business.
Yes, and that is why so many people are opposed to whatever the deputy president is doing, and we perceive this as a mere politics, because the formula it was perceived that the counties that are more populous will get more money from this revised formula, and most of the counties are from Mount Kenya region, and some are from Western Kenya, and perhaps maybe the deputy president wanted to capitalize on these counties getting less money, so that he can continue with his agenda of giving out handouts. And lastly, Miriam, on the issue of the police officers, as I said earlier, let those who call for justice do so with clean hands. And the rule of law does not only apply when you are holding the handle of the whip, in that whenever now the handle changes hands, you now start crying foul and calling everything to order. So the deputy president should spare Kenyans of hypocrisy. Yeah, he has been using police officers wrongly, and he is the last person who can talk about police officers being misused for political purposes. That is my point on that.
Karen, from what Daniel there has just shared, does our politicians only call for justice when it suits them?
Yes, they do. But they forget that there are times when the same police we used to make everything, to put things in order. And it's not like they've not used them before, and that is very wrong. However, I would like to commend Dr. Matsanga Miriam for giving us a breakdown of what has been happening, because we didn't even know that some of these people have had issues. For like four weeks, and for some days they're supposed to report, and they didn't do that. So Dr. Matsanga, that was good, quite impressive. And there's been this trend of having politics. You put politics in every other thing. We have political interference in the rule of law, and it's not supposed to happen. What we need to do is, with the Senate and parastatal heads, they have been ignoring summons. We had an issue some time back, and I think it's on the Gazette today, of one of these officials who has been sentenced 6 months in jail. Now, and he didn't even show up, or he didn't even do a follow-up. In fact, he wasn't even, following it up. He didn't even go to that jail. Now, why? Because he feels like he is in a certain position and he is above the law. That is very wrong. Those are the people we need to deal with right now. And I'm glad that the police are doing their job. Now, that is when they come in and they follow up some issues like they have been doing for the past few days. And it's very encouraging to know that they follow these issues up. So as much as they're doing that, there are others who need to follow the same route, because these things have been happening, and we're really tired of them. And I'm very sure, like I said before, these police, the police state cannot be after you for nothing. Now we have seen why they have been after these people. So I urge everyone to do the right thing, the right way, at the right place, and no one will be after you. Why do we have to throw it to some people, and we began this whole thing ourselves? So there's so much politics, even as much as we're trying to make everyone understand that no one is above the law, but there's so much politics in it, and we need to do away with it. And I'm glad the police state is working on that. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Doctor, you began by mentioning that money might have exchanged hands there. And yesterday I was watching Yesterday I was watching an interview on Citizen TV. They were interviewing the Kakamega Senator Malala, and they asked him this question about these rumors about perhaps he took some money and now, things like that. And he could not give, a clear answer, a yes or no. He just danced around that question. Yes, he couldn't even, and he became very defensive, yes.
Miriam.
Yes.
I have given you a parable. I am Paul preaching in Judea.
When you brought in the mafia. Yes.
And no, I am telling you from my study of international mafia, operations of intelligence systems in the world. Malala has never studied international intelligence. What does Malala know? What? Anajua nini?
Hello?
He knows to write poems of telegirls.
Okay, so thank you so much.
I'm telling you, a mafia cannot give you his money. Walayamu. And then you say you are going to
treat they admitted, and when they took
Professor.
For a commission they change. Is it political plans? I cannot even it is
Professor.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. They've rectified.
The mafia, Miriam, cannot give you money when you have agreed to go and kill X, God forbid, and you fail to kill that person. And then you come, tell the mafia that I missed him by 5 inches. He will give you 5 bullets in your skin. The point here I was making is why were all the senators who were on the committee scared, all of them saying they are being trailed by police. The places where they meet, there are CCTVs. The places where they meet, there are police. The telephones they use are manned by the system. So you mean the system can be wrong? Let me tell you, Malala cannot tell you he got the money. Another one will not tell you he got the money. But what were the governors doing in this hotel where they were meeting? 5 governors in the same hotel where the senators are meeting. What were they lobbying? That is another question. I'm not the police to find out whether they got or they didn't. But I've given you a parable. A hyena that failed to eat the meat that it killed. When it ran back here, the lion had arrived. When it came back here, another lion or other hyenas had come.
Very well, Daniel. From that, interview, I don't know if you're able to watch it there. Senator Malala was asked, did you or did you not receive any money so that your vote is swayed in whichever way? And he could not answer that straight on. Double speak much?
Yeah, Miriam, I think Senator Malala is a very, very cunning and sly kind of individual, if you have ever interacted with him. And as a playwright, he's a very, he knows how to go around the loop and really hoodwink people. And sometimes he goes to an extent of just creating unnecessary drama. And I think on the question of whether or not he asked the money, although he did not give a very conclusive answer, but it was all written in his face and the way he was talking and the body language. So perhaps Kenyans could read from that. And for a man who has a reputation of a very high appetite for handouts, then, there's little much that we can be left for doubt in that kind of scenario. It is a fact that they received money, they were bribed, because as Dr. Matsanga said, there is no coincidence where some 5 senators could be meeting somewhere and at the same time governors from counties which are more concerned about this kind of debate are there. So, and being Kenya, then perhaps that is the entire truth. And perhaps what Malala is is afraid of is perhaps denying that he didn't take the money, and then later on the records are brought out to the public limelight, and that is why he was taking the interviewer in circles. So from my perspective, I think that is the correct position, and Malala and his colleagues should be very genuine on their agenda. They are not defending the people of Kenya, they're defending their own selfish interests.
Right, Karen. Yes.
Miriam, maybe I went too fast.
Yes.
There's something here which is worrying me.
Go ahead.
A whole senator to have 5 criminal cases. 5 criminal cases pending. 5.
And investigations.
Under investigation. And on bond. And one of the cases is Matumbu killing, where people have gone to heaven or hell already. And there is still a senator. Is there credibility in this Senate? Is there credibility at all? A senator having 5 criminal cases. In Britain, even half a criminal case. Even stopping your car in the red district to pick a Malaya. To pick a Malaya to go and satisfy your internal life because you are lonely. And the paparazzi takes the number plate of your car, you resign. Honest. If a paparazzi in Britain sees your car near a Malaya den, because they are Bazungu told very nice, they stand at night selling their goods and their commodities. To whoever is the highest bidder, the price is paid. But if you are an MP and by accident your car breaks or a tire bursts around there, and the paparazzi is following you, you first resign before you explain why you are leaving. So it has taught a decorum, sense of decorum. You can't have a senator who has 5 criminal cases. He's still a senator committing more crimes. One of the crimes is Matumbu killing. And we are talking of people who are saying the election will be rigged. Who is plotting this rigging? Who is stockpiling guns? The senator, we are told, of Samburu has been paying people to buy guns. Who is giving the senator the money? And why is the guns, why are the guns being bought? In preparation of what? We had a deal of 49 billion shillings conducted in the Deputy President's office by a gesture. In his office, we have one officer who has died. Kenel, that young man Kenel, very good person. You find him in a hotel, he greets you like the type of respect. I remember him so well. The man was killed because of fake guns. Now we still have fake guns. We still people collecting guns. And they're using the name of the Senate. I told you at the beginning that you cannot run when you don't know why you are running. Malala knew what he had committed. He did not turn up in the rendezvous because both people were there waiting. But you see, Miriam, you asked me a question to answer you. I answered you. Both of them, this one came and said, you said you'll vote for that. This one who gave more said, you said you'll also vote for that. The best thing is, cause a circus. And I tell all of them, both the mafia, the darker forces, and the neutral farmer, that you know I was arrested so I could not vote. That's how people eat money here in Kenya. You didn't know. Miriam, you have never tried, but that's how they eat. Mjamaa, wewe unakuja kuniuliza pesa. Unakumbuka siku ile walinishika. Niko na mambo ya polisi. Unakuja kuniuliza pesa. You wanted me to come and vote when I was being chased by police. That's the answer. Now that money is gone. But it's not yet over. The mafia will need his money. I told you, this case of Waruki has taken somebody down. So if Waruki is released on bail, you don't know who could take him down. And the magistrate, the judge agreed with me. Haven't you seen the judge has refused to release Waruki? For his own safety. Yes. Waruki is now in prison for safety protection, safe custody. Because you don't know who will come to kill you. It has killed one man already. So this record is not Matanga. You can even see the typing is police. That's what we call investigations. You're a journalist with a card. Enda upate hii kitu. What was kuambia hii stories that kumbe hako na 5 criminal cases. I'm publishing it. Now, saa hii utaona kwa mtandao natembea. Wacha watu wasome. That's how I do my things. If he publishes more, I'll get even more. I'll get the details. If you are an investigative journalist, bwana, yuko na card. Kadi yangu iko hapa. Atafanya nini? Atafanya nini? I'm a Commonwealth journalist. I even interview Boris Johnson. Who is this? And we are gonna my friend Miriam controlled me here, but when I'm out today, I'm bad.
All right, take a water break, Professor.
I hope it's not water. Yes. I hope you go back to Sky News and Google Matsanga and Sky News. Look at what analysis I was giving on Africa. Wesonga, you have seen. You have gone back and seen them. Give them to Miriam. I spent 750 hours. 750 hours of television. Queen was watching me. The Queen of England on her desk. I finished the guys. Wazungu wote. They could not match my brain. And every studio was calling me, Kuja, Kuja, Kuja. Because my analysis was on Africa. You look at them, Miriam, you will be impressed.
I will.
That here,
the Queen of England.
To be insulted by some lumpens and Americans of a degree of lunacy. I can heap words here, don't please. I have reasoned before the Queen. I am the one who said the Queen to tell Tony Blair to go slow on Zimbabwe. Because they did not want to lose Zimbabwe. When she looked at me like this, the Queen's favorite TV is ITN. She watches that. A man called Jon Snow. You have seen a book in my library, Miriam, you saw. It was there. And I used to go for Jon Snow. The man asks the hardest questions. And the Queen could be impressed with my answers. The they liked me and they sent a message that anything on on Zimbabwe, bring that guy with the Bishop of Bulawayo, Pius Kube, the man who committed suicide. Do you remember him? After arguing with me, he went back and he found a bishop, a Catholic bishop is not to have a sex with anybody. This Catholic bishop had sex with a parishioner's wife. And he did not know that Mugabe had already taped the proceedings. Mugabe displayed the proceedings that time. Namna hivi, the man, the Pope, when the Pope, that Pope was what? The other one was Pope John. Mm-hmm. Yes, Pope John. John Paul, or John Paul. Mm-hmm. Yes. That Pope said, no. Hey. Trust. It was there, I'm telling you, Miriam. Daytime. The bishop just looked for extra tablets. He died. You can't face the church anymore. Mm-hmm. More so, he did what he had an affair with a parishioner's, the man of the head of the parishioner's wife. Inside the church, he could have taken to his bedroom, but inside the church, at the what is it called? The altar, near the altar. Anauma, anakula kutoka huko.
My God.
I'm sorry. But I'm telling you the true story. Mm. That Miriam Wesonga get those pictures and pass them to my beloved Miriam.
The pictures of what?
The pictures of Sky News.
Ah, the interviews that you did. I thought those ones of the church. Those ones I don't want to see.
No.
But I'll Google them, Doctor. I'll Google. I think I've watched it before. I've watched you in that on YouTube. But I'll watch. But
please,
yes.
I like you to do that again and see what it means by being loyal. These guys, they play with the government because the government does not have a spokesman, a tough spokesman. But if they found a Chichombaya spokesman like me,
you're a Kichombaya.
Yay, tulikuwa tunararuana. Tunidi kuraruana na hawa watu. Kupigana na hawa watu kabisa. You saw Mutua, that governor. Kibaki was smiling all the way to the bank. Lakini hawa watu wanacheza na President Uhuru Kenyatta's name because there is nobody defending him. Mm-hmm.
Well, President Kenyatta said Kenya is an open society, so he understands.
It can open, but you can't open it all the way to hell.
Yes.
Mr. President, you cannot open the whole way to hell. Mm-hmm. There is no country in Africa that I have said it will have chaos, and it doesn't have. Malawi now. Look at Malawi. Yes, they have started insurgents. Have you heard what is in Malawi? The new president is having a hard time. He has gone for his friend. The supporters of this man are saying, no, we put you on notice. Tutagongana bunduki hapa. So, look, watch me. I told you, 16 countries in sub-Saharan Africa, before 2020, they will collapse. Count for me. Count for me. Then you bring me another rank. Yongeza rank moja. I don't want the rank of the army.
Doctor,
because I left.
Before we count those countries.
A rank of education.
Yes. Before we count those countries, Doctor, yesterday out of what has been happening there in the Senate, Raila's response, I don't know why Kenyans were shocked. as Professor said there, he is in the opposition, and I think Raila has come out time and time and said, I'm not part of the government, even when Deputy President was alluding to the deep state trying to stop his ambition of becoming Kenya's president. Raila said, he should know because he's part of that state. He's in opposition, so he's said that. So he came out, and part of the statement there that he said the events surrounding the arrest of the senators yesterday, that this is a tweet from Raila yesterday. So he meant on Monday, just like the acrimonious stalemate that has seen the Senate disagree a record 9 times on sharing of revenue among counties stand as dark reminders that our struggle for a democratic state is far from finished. Why do you think Kenyans were shocked by these statements from Raila, knowing his track records, as the professor has said there earlier, of fighting for the space that we are currently enjoying, him and among other people who also were involved in that state? So were they expecting him to be quiet now that he's in a working relationship with the president? Or what were they expecting from Raila, Prof? Were you shocked that Kenyans were shocked that Raila wrote this?
Yeah, you know what Raila is saying is what we said here, Miriam, the other day. It coincided that those people were going to Parliament to have that vote. But the basis has been read, and I don't know what the Prime Minister is going to say. Miriam, we have been saying here that when Jesus was being crucified, everybody was saying crucify him without even knowing why Jesus would be crucified. You have seen people beating people, stoning people on mob justice. You stone someone without having facts. Facts have come out. The police were carrying their duty, their duties. They did not harass anybody. They did not beat anybody else. They simply arrested, and when they have got a statement, they have been released. Where have the police gone wrong? So, but Baba is very, very being strategic. He has got 22 politics ahead of him, 2022, and the other one. But what I want to say that it was a normal thing, which we have said here, and we are saying that we are defending the police. That what they have said and what we have also said be compared. You cannot stop the officers, public servants, the security officers from doing their duty. In fact, those who purported to do so, they are supposed to be charged because you can't prevent a police officer from doing his duty. Dr. Masanga has told you what happened in a Commonwealth country. So long as you have seen this, the police looking for you, say, okay, give me some minutes, give me a day. See how tolerant these police officers have been. They have been telling those people, brother, sir, come and write the report. And they end to an extent of switching their phones. And mkono wa serikali ni mrefu, they will get you.
Yeah.
They asked for embarrassment, they got it.
Moi told
So
us that.
facts are coming out.
Yes.
Facts are coming out. And here today, Dr. Matiang'i, the CS for Internal Security, is meeting those people. Let us see what will come out. In a point of ignorance, you make mistakes. That's why I said that be patient, go slow, you will get facts and you will be a wise man, a wise person. So Baba is very right. He is into opposition. He has fought for this democratic space. But who tells you that Baba can also comment without facts? So on this, he did not get facts. If he gets those facts from Dr. Masanga and anybody else, he will also be embarrassed for having said that.
Are you sure Baba does not have the facts? That okay, part of his tweet also.
Let me clarify this.
Yes.
Malala yesterday said he will never campaign for Baba. You heard what he said. He said it yesterday before the press conference was dispersed. Because he even thanked the ANC leadership for standing with him and ODM for failing him. But ODM does not cannot stand with a man who have 5 criminal cases
Oh, yes.
And you cannot intimidate Raila Odinga and then go and commit your crimes, then you intimidate him. He's also a Kenyan. At least for him, he's in cabinet. He's not in cabinet. But the man who should be condemned is the one who is the deputy president, who should pick a phone and ask the IG. At times, I wonder whether the deputy president, his English is his, because it looks like it's not his English. I don't think he writes this festival. And I've always told him, my friend, you're a young man, go slow. You have a position, but you are young, go slow. Yet people not write statements for you. That will inflame the situation. You're deputy president, why don't you summon the IG? Call the IG. If you don't come because you have corona or he has corona, use Zoom to avoid corona, so that nobody can come and say, you came to me. Mm-hmm. So these are some of the things. Tuambiane ukweli jameni.
All right.
The DP cannot claim that he does not know. That he doesn't know the IG's number. How can you not know the Inspector General's number when you're deputy president? At least Raila spoke as a leader of opposition.
Mm-hmm. But also, even as he spoke as the leader of opposition, I think he's. Let me just read part of that tweet that he tweeted yesterday, and he said that it was absolutely unnecessary to turn the debate on sharing of revenue among counties into a context between losers and gainers, pastoralists and agriculturalists, regions and tribes. It was equally unnecessary to make revenue sharing a contest of might between the security organs and legislators. Having pushed ourselves into deep divisions only to emerge with no formula, it is time to tone down the ethnic and regional rhetoric and diffuse the tensions that bubbled to the surface over this matter. And then following that, he says the states need to pull back and abandon actions that take away the gains made on a path to democratization, and the warlords need to stop beating the drums of war on financing the divisive rhetoric, and our legislators involved in this matter need to search their souls in all honesty and put a public good above private gain. Baba seems to be standing in the middle here. Daniel, what do you make of this?
Yes, let me thank you, Miriam, and let me just put it clearly that at the beginning of this discussion, I said clearly that this is a well choreographed play, and what they say that he who pays the piper plays the tune. And you saw the deputy president at the inception of the debate about the revenue allocation formula. He said that this revenue allocation, and he put it in quite a clear capital statement, that it's quite divisive to this country. And, as a leader, if he knew it was divisive, why didn't he, as a deputy president, seek better avenues of making sure that we do address this issue amicably? And whatever he did, from my perspective, what I see, after portraying it as divisive, he then sent his agents through these senators to go to the floor of Senate and bring the tribal angle, to bring the pastoralists versus these farmers and all that kind of stuff that Raila Odinga is talking about. And it's absolutely true. Now, as you see right now, it has turned out to be a show of might between the senators who are claiming to be defending the common man and the law enforcement agencies who are also pursuing them for the crime that they committed. So this is a very, very well choreographed chaos that were planted into our leadership by the deputy president. And he's the ultimate beneficiary of this, because he's using it as a political fodder to gain a clout for 2022 politics, alignment rather. So perhaps that is the angle that we should look at it from. And for Raila Odinga is the leader of opposition, and as Professor, as Dr. Matsanga, as Karen has said, he has a very long-standing reputation and legacy of fighting for democratic space in this country and reforms. But William Ruto, I think he's just being sanctimonious. He's being hypocritical, and his agenda is quite tightly tied up on the 2022 politics. And that is what he has been doing since inception, since 2013. He has just been campaigning. And perhaps the chaos that we are having today are stemming back from whatever ambition that he has for presidency. But whatever it is, he should be told that it's not the right way. He's polarizing the country. He's plunging Kenya into a political mood, which is not the best mood that we should be having as a country right now. We do have COVID-19. We do have the presidential agenda of the legacy, which we have to achieve before 2022.
All right, very well, Karen. These statements from Right Honorable former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Is he a statesman, as he has been, referred to in the past, or are these are just statements meant for a political strategy?
Well, it could be both. But what I like about the whole statement, whatever it is that he talked about yesterday, he was majorly on people coming together and not letting any other thing divide us, whether it's our tribe, it's where we come from, and all of that. So yes, it could be. But then I like the fact that in his that talk, he was majorly on uniting us and not causing division, compared to some other people who are always giving out sentiments that are inciting and all of that. So I like the fact that he was majoring on putting us together, despite the fact that some of us are pastoralists, some of us are farmers. Then this is our country. We need to deal with it as as we are, and not based on where we come from, who we are. Thank you, Miriam.
Very well. And Professor, on that statement, something came out there when Raila said, as you see those debates, and I think you talked about it here, we've been talking about it here, those debates in Senate, they're laced with a lot of ethnic, backgrounds and regional rhetoric, undertones, and all of that. And Raila is saying, hey, it's about time we diffuse some of these things, because when you keep playing the ethnic card there and the regional rhetoric, sometimes some of these things might lead to a buildup of tension that is unnecessary. Can our leaders be more cautious next time, even as we look forward to them coming back next week to continue with this debate there in Senate?
Thank you, Miriam. It is true. There's that kind of perception that this debate has caused a lot of animosity, a lot of tension among peaceful Kenyans. And Miriam, let the truth be told. I hope you have gotten that formula from the Commission for Revenue Allocation. I want any Kenyan to challenge the Commission for Revenue Allocation that they erred on this. The truth of the matter is, Miriam, is that there is a perception that the money is going to Mount Kenya. And sometimes Kangata talks jokingly, but he speaks his mind. There are some people who are determined, even their counties to lose. But so long as Mount Kenya doesn't get money. But we will continue to tell Kenyans that the president is committed towards uniting the country together with the prime minister. Let members of parliament go to parliament without, you go to parliament to persuade your colleagues, see your point. But when you go, see what Professor Kamaru was trying to say. He comes from Wasnigisu. He says in Wasnigisu, all Kenyans live in that part of the country. You go to Nakuru, all Kenyans live in that country. Go to Mombasa, all Kenyans live in that country. Go to Ram, all Kenyans go to this country. So Miriam, let our leaders know what people need is to pursue and have peace and have a conducive environment to do their developments. People need schools. People need hospitals. People need roads. People need water. People need to advance and improve their agriculture into modern cases. So when you want to go on and say that this has happened, we want to at least why I've liked this parliament, even if this Senate, even if they are pulling each other, they have come forward to confront the mistake which was done. Miriam, hear this. Do you know the 2009 census? Someone meddled with them, we messed up with them. They even went to court, the High Court said they nullified those census. And then the Court of Appeal had to say that the census were not correct. Miriam, we have got the correct census now. We have got the correct poverty index. Why do you want to go to the 2009? So at least, let us sober up. And I hope the 12 members, Senate, they are going to sit down and agree how they are going to take forward. In fact, Miriam, if these people were to take me the challenge for me, what I'll do this, I would only calculate the money, which is, there is a perception that those counties are losing. We go to the president and tell him, Mzee, Baba, tunataka hii pesa tusaidia watu walio wengi. Hapa tulifanya makosa, lakini sasa tunataka Kenya iende pole pole. I'm sure you don't become hostile with the executive. It is almost only 14 billion. Is 14 billion trying to cause tension, cause animosity, profile people, say watu wengine wanatendea watu hivi? No. If this guy is sitting there, why haven't they found time to go and sit with the president and discuss? Why haven't they found time and go and sit with Papa? Wamuulize Papa, hivi tunafanya nini? Benye wase chamba yaribiki Miriam. The problem we are having with our YouTube members of the Senate, wanaenda mbio. Let me sometimes when I see the likes of Mkomeni, when Akina Mura were being killed, where were they? When people, children like Pendo were being killed, where were they? Where have they? Were they going to Damascus and then they became Saul, they became Paul, now they can champion? And then if I let the truth be told, the Machiavelli and the deputy president is the one who is messing this. And if it's not going to be, sisi tutamwambia. The senator for Kericho ni wanani? The senator for Bomet ni wanani? The senator for Regayo Marakwet ni wanani? They belong to this divide. Haven't you told them what to do? Have you ever seen anywhere, ask yourself, someone gaining money and you refuse? Unless you merowa. So that's where it is. I'm praying for that committee that we are all Kenyans. We have got no another country. Yes. We need to talk to each other. We need to engage each other. We need to have a conversation. Hakuna aja. Let me tell you, when you just walk Miriam to the common, you see common Kenyans, you meet around. You even ask whether which tribe are you, when you go to a supermarket, when you go to a church, when you are aboarding a matatu. We are only struggling with the issues to do with life. So the politicians, to spare us of inciting people. Like now, see the facts which have come. How do you have 5 criminal cases? And then you go and incite people that the government is pursuing you.
All right, Professor. Thank you there. Our politicians, please spare us these ethnical tensions. We don't need that. Way forward, we start. Doctor, do we please allow me to end with you? We start with Karen. We go to Daniel, and then perhaps we go back to Prof, and then we end with you. Way forward of everything else we've talked about today, even as we look at is the rule of law clashing with politics, and what are the dangers in this, and the way forward. Karen.
Yes, the rule of law is clashing with politics, and that has been a problem. Each time we have an issue or a case to deal with, then politics comes in, and we don't even know how this whole case, we can't even tell how it ended also. And the consequences of having the rule of law conflicting or, crossing with politics is that at times we have difficulties in even concluding petitions and having members, concluding.
we seem to be having a
have
signal. Okay.
in concluding these petitions. And it gives us, the other consequence is that it gives us this picture, the common mwananchi, that it's just not fair in our country. People get through it and some don't. So it doesn't create a good picture, the common mwananchi. They feel like just because they do not have power, they do not have authority, then they are stepped on. And you're supposed to be in a country where you feel so free, you feel that there's justice. So we have all this because of the conflict between the politics coming in the rule of law. The rule of law is supposed to be to cut everyone. It doesn't matter you have a position or a power. It's supposed to cut across everyone. And it calls for the public officials, lawyers, and even these other people to know that they have an important role to play when it comes to maintaining and protecting the judicial independence, because we need to make us believe that you people are working on it, are working on cases that have been there and have not been dealt with. There's justice going on in this country. So yes, Miriam, thank you very much.
All right, thank you there, Daniel. As I said there earlier, the rule of law is pegged on the principle that all people are equal under the law. But as we've seen the events that have been happening, and sometimes even in the past, not just this one, even in the past, are we seeing the rule of law a clash with politics and being politicized too much? And what are the dangers of this as a law-abiding country?
Thank you. And it's very unfortunate that currently the people who are expected to be the pace setters are people who are supposed to set example for the rest of us in the country are the greatest violators of the same law that they enact. And it was very unfortunate that these senators, perhaps all of them, were very reluctant to arrest. They resisted arrest, which is also a criminal offense. And I don't know why they are not even charged for resisting arrest. They should have been charged for that. And as a normal citizen, if you are found to have contravened the law, and the officers come and they identify themselves, whichever time it will be, you will be taken in, Miriam. And that law should apply to everyone squarely and fairly. And there's no way Senator Malala can say that he cannot go into a cell simply because the cell is not sanitized, when we do have other criminals in that particular cell. What kind of picture does this send to the rest of Kenyans? And one thing, let me tell you, Miriam, President Uhuru Kenyatta should first realize that the current political mood, people have really set up a mood of campaigns and politicking, regardless of his big four agenda. And when you watch Dr. Masanga talking about the legacy trend, you realize that right now is the moment when President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy and projects are at the apex, and he has really accelerated projects across the country to ensure that he leaves a legacy. But in very sharp contrast, his deputy and his lieutenant and other political players are bringing in premature 2022 politics, which is a very big derailment to the big four agenda. So I think going forward, we should enact a law where the president will have the powers to sack and send home a deputy president, like we are having right now, a deputy president who cannot obey simple laws, a deputy president who speaks in sharp contrast with his boss. So that will be the only way we shall be able to put everything in order. And for the deputy president, if he sees that he's in a position where he has been limited, he feels he's alienated from the executive organ of the government, let him just do whatever Jaramogi Oginga Odinga did in 1969 when Kenyatta's government and people around him seem to have alienated him from the presidency. Let him be an honorable man and tender his resignation. That is my parting shot, Miriam.
Thank you so much, Prof. The dangers of the rule of law being overly politicized and the way forward.
Miriam, we have discussed this topic, and it is true that we in Kenya everything is politics. Kenya is one country which amazes me, Miriam. We conclude an election, We start a campaign for the 5 years for that campaign, for another elections. My question comes here, Miriam. When will we have politics of economics? When will we have politics of development? When are we going to say now, guys, this is an event, let us build our country? And let me tell you, my friend, in regard with the topic we have discussed, I believe in rule of law. I believe in separation of powers in the three arms of the government. The Constitution and the neighboring laws gives everyone his role to do. Let us respect the executive to execute their mandate. Let us respect the members of the assembly to legislate, make laws. Let us allow the judiciary to arbitrate and interpret the laws where we cannot be able to understand. The Senate, honestly, they have failed to provide leadership. If it was a country which believed in rule of law, what we have seen in the Senate, it is enough, Miriam, for them to resign and go home. But being Africa, yes, you can see, you can go to the National Assembly earning the taxpayers' money of this country to go and debate as if you are a villager. You don't earn money from your county. You earn money for the taxpayers of this country. So you go there to represent the interests of the counties. I expected them to say, how do we move together, my brother? Remember what you say in the State of Development. Let us move forward without leaving anyone behind. We have to move forward, all of us. Those brothers of ours who have been marginalized, the Constitution has given them the way. 2% of the budget must go to the equalization fund. Miriam, you want to tell me that we have got members of parliament, almost 10 years since the enactment of that Constitution, that they have not legislated to say how that fund will function, and it is 20 years? Miriam, there's something wrong with our leaders. Let them respect their public servants, the police who are doing their work. Let us give them the enabling environment so that they work. They are there to serve us. And the only way forward, let us all of us be equal, all of us be equal before the law. Because I've said what I've seen from what the politics that they are trying to do. I'm going to see border. In fact, you normally see them, what happens on the road. In fact, they are behaving like them. You knock one of them, you don't know where they come, and they assemble and they can harass you and they can lynch you. This is exactly what our senators have done. Let us build a modern society which believes in the rule of law. And the president, whether your deputy is underrating you or not, whether he uses the name of God when it favors him, what I know, there's a God in heaven. You want this country to be united. You want to river regas. You want to execute your four agenda. With the Baba is helping you so that we come up on how we unite this country. And I have no doubt in my mind, by the help of God, you are going to make it. To the 12 members of the Senate, you have given us a task to do. How I pray you become like Solomon. When blood comes from the mouth, you swallow the some and you spit some. Let them use that analogy and put this country. There is no another country that I know we can go to. We have got Kenya to build. We may not be able to agree, but for the sake of us moving together as a country, it is a matter of give and take. They can say, we were not prepared for this. This one been for this financial year, and for other years, there is truth in this. Ama they can say, can it be implemented? How in 2023? That is what gentlemen and women can do to take this country forward, Miriam.
You've talked like a true, mediator there. Thank you so much, Prof, for that. I hope somebody out there is listening. Doctor, end it for us. Doctor.
Unmute.
Mute.
the way forward.
Unmute, let him unmute.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm correcting a mess first. There's something which is not right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Miriam. Thank you very much, panel. Thank you very much for the deliberations that you have conducted. They've spoken very, very maturely. And what has happened, I think, there's nothing different from what security agencies will be telling the Senate. Or the Minister of Security has all these details. So we are not very far from what is going to come out. Point number one is very, very, very disturbing that leaders of a caliber of senators collect their own groups of Tanga, call them at night, call them to come and support them to prevent justice from flowing. It is also sad that Kumbe, these senators are involved in buying guns in preparation for 2022 to bring a regime change or to go to the bush like Museveni went to the bush. Let this matter be very serious and let Raila think about the statements Raila will make in the future. This thing is being prepared for 2022. If you hear a senator buying guns in Samburu, and if you hear the people in Mumias, a police station was taken over by unknown people, and 19 guns were stolen. If you hear the reports around Bungoma, Trans Nzoia, Ukobukwa, the things that are happening there, add these things together, then you can hear a statement coming of this nature. Is public, what they call cheap public sympathy. Somebody is trying to pick cheap public sympathy. Cheap, kabisa, muti ya chini, when you wale, even if you wear the best suit, but you are cheap. You know, if you are cheap, you know, I don't know what I know all of you know. Even if the man is well dressed, but he's cheap. Cheap. You know, you have cars, you have what, but you are cheap. Cheap. Mutu. You know, poverty of faith, omutima omuvundu. Omutima omuvundu. Raw chafu. Raw chafu. Omutima means raw chafu. Hata kama unavaa suti namna gani, zile zinatoka taki na hii, these small of clips. Me, I don't wear those type of suits. It's Wesonga, maybe. Not me, Wesonga and the deputy, and wear those suits, but not Dr. Matanga. My suits are, my God, my suits. I have 820 pieces of suits. 8. Home, here. Oh, Jesus Christ. The only thing that has let me down is the weight. Lakini kama inavaa suti yangu na ingia pale huko, unakimbia mbio. Pana suti hizi za taki, taxi shoots that you wear, this madoa unatishatisha watu. Sio mnatishatisha nani nyinyi? Even the cotton suit, the cotton shirts that I wear, you can't wear them. My cotton shirts are special, Pringo, and they are made all the way from Scotland. So each year I get 50 shirts of Pringo made to fit me. Cotton, not the cotton that sticks on the body. So this poverty of faith, cheapness, you know, unaonekana uko cheap kabisa, lakini unaambia watu I am going to be 2022. Cheap, you are cheap. If you go and call your Tanga group to come and beat the police, you are very cheap. What is? You are a very cheap person. And let me finish it that way. Mr. Ina Hassan, Senator Stephen Lelengwe of Samburu. It is not me. It is a police record. You are one of my few people who listened. Police record. Can I read it for you? It is very, Miriam, give me a minute to read. The Lelengwe senator is wanted by the police over sponsoring cattle rustling in Samburu County. Police are in a possession of a statement from elected other leaders of the county. Accusing him of financing cattle rustling, including buying guns for use by rustlers. Ina Hassan, brother, it is not me. This is a police statement. That's it. I'm not reading from Matanga's chicken or wardrobe. You are my friend for a long time, and the good work you are doing for us to give us ideas. I wish we had all the funds like you. So I'm reading a statement from the police. It has been sent. We have, if you are an investigative agent, you look for these things. Malala has got 5 pending cases in court, in the police, including the Matumbu killings. Watu wameshaenda kwa Mungu, wanaombea Mungu, sio Gehenna. Wako kwa Gehenna or heaven. He's still here battling with police. Wacha. So Miriam, in a nutshell. 1. Law and order is the essence of society. Law and order is the essence of community. Law and order is the essence of democracy. Without law and order, there cannot be democracy. Without law and order, we can never change our mindsets. There is no body above the law and the order of any land. If you commit a crime and the police come to your door, let them identify themselves. Don't call Tanga Brigade Mujahideen. Call your wife and tell your wife to come to that police where they are taking you. Police need to be protected. Imagine those senators, all of them have guns. All of them have pistols. Imagine they shot the police and the police returned the fire. No, just imagine you Kenyans. We are talking like our Shenzi up. Imagine all those senators have guns. Each of them have guns. I go with them in the sauna, I see their guns, pistols. Imagine they shot people. Imagine they killed those policemen. Why should the policemen die when they have come to arrest a man who was told to write a statement and they refused to write a statement voluntarily? We should protect the police. And I'm not going to sit here to say police are wrong. What is human rights? Did they beat who? Whom do they beat? Whom do they beat? Walipiga nani? Police walipiga nani? Who is Malala? Malala mutu ya Malala is supposed to be in this place near Norfolk. What is the place? What's that place near Mocho? What do they play? He's an actor, a comedian.
The National Theatre.
National Theatre. Malala is supposed to be in the Senate. It's like giving a grave digger to be an architect building a building of 200-story building. Wacha! Usiambie sisi wa ushenzi. Shenzi. Malala is supposed to be in the National Theatre, man. Acting. The play of shackles of Shako Dooms of Teregaus. Ndio juzi tulizungumza kwa Sonko, sasa anapoa. Huyu naye tutaanza tumzungumize apoe. Sonko was supposed to be in Shematalewa. Whatever prison. Have I got it right this time?
No.
You are very close to getting it right. It's Shimolatewa.
Shimolatewa. The man is supposed to be in Shimolatewa. Inside the whole Shimu. Shimu ya Torewa, Terewa, so whatever it is. So Malala is supposed to be in the theater with Itumbi. They write the plays. Comedian. How the people of Kakamega refused to elect a doctor called, another lumpen doctor called Harare, I don't know. Yet they are very educated people in a doctor who cannot cure even a small disease. The last he did was to steal medicine in Mombasa. Kwanda. Tunawajua tuko na data. You know what he did to other people who had a company when Kibaki said the clinics will be self-sufficient. Do you remember? Do you remember the doctor who was brought having stolen medicine? Alikuwa huyo. So thank you, Miriam. I want to thank you that senators must show good example. Senators must show discipline. Senators must be people of high caliber. Senators must show example by abiding to the rule of law. Less than that, the country becomes an archaic. Anarchy comes in, the country croaks into crisis, conflicts will break out. If every person is calling his tribe to defend him, then tribe will start defending again, fighting each other. Let's abide by the law. When the police has come to collect you, go ye humbly and come out to get your bail or your bond and go home. Sort the matter between you and your wife. Tell your wife, I was wrong. Instead, actually, I stole. But you prepare for my going to prison. Don't fight the police. I submit.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Karen from Malindi. Thank you, Daniel Wesonga from Nairobi CBD. Thank you, Professor Jared Onyari. And indeed, thank you so much, Dr. David Batanga. I shall be seeing you here later at 3 p.m. when you look at the new developments from Malawi. My name is Miriam Ogutu. A very good afternoon to you.
Asante sana.
peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.